For Kew.
Thank you very much, Acting Speaker. And I too rise to speak on the State Sporting Legislation Amendment Bill 2024, a bill that has been introduced by the government to largely put in place a number of administrative changes, particularly to amend the Anzac Day Act 1958 to change the description of an area in which sports are held on Anzac Day, and also a series of changes made to the Cartinia Park Stadium Act 2016, the Melbourne Olympic Parks Act 1985, the Melbourne Cricket Ground Act 2009, and the State Sports Centres Act 1994 in relation to trust membership, leasing powers and other miscellaneous amendments. Very exciting piece of legislation, but I think, Acting Speaker, what's more exciting at the moment is the fact that we are celebrating sport more broadly with the Olympics in Paris, and I'm sure many of us are waking up early in the morning to see the results coming back home, the gold medalists, the silver and bronze medalists, and making Australians very, very proud. And like our Olympians are making us proud, in the electorate of Kew we have so many wonderful sporting organisations and clubs that are so much part of the fabric of our community. We are a place where not only are we have so many schools, more than 30 schools, but also a place where sporting communities are in constant connection with the local community and making sure that they are working to enhance our local community and to work to provide that broader input that sporting clubs can provide. I thought, Acting Speaker, given the fact that we are celebrating sport at the moment and speaking about the State Sporting Legislation Amendment Bill, I would talk about some of the wonderful clubs we do have in the electorate of Kew and where to start, but it is still footy season. And the Kew Rovers, run by the President Nathan and their fantastic team there with Alison and Beck. Now, the Kew Rovers is the home of the Dacos boys, Josh and Nick, and being a Collingwood supporter, it's terrific to have them reigning from the electorate of Kew. And they were down at the club a couple of weeks ago with Steele Stuyvesant, talking to the young kids, talking to them about the importance of community sport and getting involved and working hard to excel in football. It's very much a family club. It's a community-focused club. Just recently I went to their event about fighting MND, the Big Freeze, raising money for that important cause, and that says so much about the Kew Rovers and the committee there, parent-run committee. And it is also the club of Andrew Dillon, the CEO of the AFL. So it has a very proud record when it comes to contributing to AFL more broadly here in Victoria. Of course, the Kew Comets neighbouring, the rivalry between the Kew Rovers and the Kew Comets based at Victoria Park. Big focus, like the Rovers, on growing their female teams, increasing that female participation. And it was great to get down to an under-11 girls game not too long ago. The senior club, the Kew Bears, which works with the Rovers and the Comets to make sure that those junior players can come through into a senior club. And congratulations to Michael Cochrane and his team at the Kew Bears, which also put a lot of effort into giving back to the community. And just recently I went to a luncheon there that was supporting the Breast Cancer Network of Australia and raising funds for that important cause. The Balwyn Tigers is not only a junior club but a senior club, and congratulations to David Felicia and his team at the Balwyn Tigers, who over the past few years has worked incredibly hard to merge a number of junior clubs, the Burundara Hawks and the Greythorn Jets and the Balwyn Tigers, to make sure that those clubs can come together and actually ensure that young players who start off in the under-8s, the under-9s, can continue all the way through to the under-18s before going on to the senior team and don't have to change clubs. As we know, so much of local sporting clubs are parent-run and volunteer-run committees, and they put in so much effort into making sure these clubs are successful and that kids in particular, young people in particular, can get the most out of those clubs. And David and his team, Fiona and others at the Balwyn Tigers, do that every single day. And last year it was terrific to follow the under-14 girls team through the season. They put an amazing amount of effort into making sure that they were the reigning premiers once again, 3 years in a row, the reigning premiers, the under-14 girls, and hoping for another premiership this year. Turning to the upcoming cricket season, we have, of course, the Deepdene Uniting Cricket Club and the Deepdene Bears. Now, Deepdene is probably the smallest suburb in the state of Victoria, but they do have 2 cricket clubs. And the rivalry there is fierce, and congratulations to both of those clubs on always looking to grow, to look at how they can expand to include more female players and grow those female teams. And a shout out to James Lindsay at the Deepdene Bears that puts a lot of effort into making sure it's an inclusive club for everyone. The North Balwyn Cricket Club, the Bulls, to Matt and John, another club that is focused on supporting the local community through the Pink Stumps Day lunch and making sure they're supporting the Breast Cancer Network of Australia as well. The Kooyoung Heights Cricket Club, to Juliet, Warren and Theo, huge focus there on the women's team. It was terrific to get out there last year and open their gala day for their women's section, growing not only the senior team but the junior team as well. And of course the Kew Cricket Club, which had great success last year with their first 11 being the reigning premiers. And to Gavin Colopy and his team at the Balwyn Saints and Blasters Cricket Club, this is a club that has really grown in recent years in terms of its junior development and is very much focused on bringing those juniors right through to the senior club. One of the oldest clubs in our area and has a fierce rivalry with the North Balwyn Cricket Club. And I heard from some others on the government side about the investments made into local sporting clubs. Well, if there's a club that would look to see some investment in their local facilities, it's Balwyn Saints and Blasters down at Myrtle Park, making sure that those facilities are actually providing for young female players and that the change rooms have the facilities that those players need to get involved in the club. The North Balwyn Baseball Club shares facilities with the Balwyn Saints and Blasters down at Myrtle Park, the Stingers, and to Matt St Onge, who is a passionate baseball player and has invited me down a number of times to deliver the first pitch, which has been successful and not successful on different occasions, depending on how far I can make it. But it is a very active club, and last year the women's team, the Hornets, saw a premiership come their way through their hard work, and a club that really brings people in from many different areas. Of course, the local soccer clubs in our area, the Boroondara Eagles, to Chris, Marina and Manny for all of their work, a huge club that's only growing in size as soccer continues to see that sport grow, particularly after the success of the Matildas over the past couple of years and the growth of female sport in soccer. And the East Kew Football Club, Vange, down at Willsmere Park, another great local club that's really focused on providing that opportunity for younger players to get involved in soccer and working with the local school community as well to build that out as a sport. The Boroondara Netball Association, under the leadership of Sue, is a place on Saturday morning where there are thousands of young people coming in and out of that venue. Parking can be an absolute nightmare. But to Sue and Kiralee, who's always on the barbecue, it's wonderful to see the netball club continue to go from strength to strength. Huge amount of work goes into that as well. And I know that Sue's passion for growing netball to making sure that local schools are connected into that is very, very important to her as well. The North Balwyn Bowls Club, to Peter O'Brien and his team there. This is a club that continues to grow. It was great to have them in at the Parliament a couple of weeks ago and have a game here on the bowls pitch or green, and to have them in here and to have an opportunity to take them to lunch and enjoy the Parliament. But thank you to Peter for all that he does. And of course, it'd be remiss of me not to mention the Kew Box Hill Hockey Club, my own hockey club. I haven't been playing this season, unfortunately, but hope to get back on the pitch next year. To the girls there, to Amanda Harper, who does so much work to bring that team together every single week, a dear friend, and very much hoping that the girls have a good season and I can get back out on the pitch soon. And finally, Deputy Speaker, a huge congratulations to Susanna Lutz, a Surrey Hills resident in my electorate, who is heading to Paris any day now for the Paralympics. Susanna is a young girl who went to Genazzano, who's heading across to the rowing at the Paralympics, and is very much excited and thrilled about the opportunity ahead.
Order.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker.